At Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon during the night in a dream, and God said, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." Solomon answered, "Give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours?" God's response in 1 Kings 3:12, "I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be." King Solomon, one of the most enigmatic figures in history, has been a focal point of mysticism, theology, and esoteric study for millennia. Renowned as the wisest king of ancient Israel, Solomon's story is a tapestry of divine favor, earthly ambition, and spiritual mystery. Let us delve into his life, the legacy of his family, the legendary Ring of Power, and how this narrative resonates with ancient traditions, possibly connecting to the Sumerians and the Anunnaki. Along the way, we'll explore the secrets left out of the Bible and consider the deeper, esoteric truths that might lie beneath the surface of this fascinating tale. The life and legacy of Solomon. Solomon was the son of King David and Bathsheba, a lineage marked by passion, conflict, and divine covenant. David, Solomon's father, was a warrior poet who unified Israel, capturing Jerusalem and establishing it as the nation's spiritual and political heart. Solomon inherited this throne under the auspices of divine favor, and his reign marked a golden age of prosperity and peace for Israel. But Solomon was not merely a ruler of an earthly kingdom. He was the builder of the first temple in Jerusalem, a project said to have been ordained by Yahweh himself. The temple became the physical manifestation of Israel's covenant with Yahweh, a sacred space where heaven met earth. Solomon's family legacy, therefore, was one of profound spiritual and political significance. The Ring of Power. Solomon's wisdom and power are famously attributed to a divine gift, a ring given to him by Yahweh. According to apocryphal sources such as the Testament of Solomon, this ring bore the seal of Solomon, a symbol inscribed with a pentagram or hexagram. This symbol, imbued with divine power, allowed Solomon to command spirits, including demons, to do his bidding. The purpose of this ring was not merely for Solomon's personal gain. Yahweh granted it to him so that he might build the temple without interference from malevolent spiritual forces. With the ring, Solomon was said to control legions of demons, compelling them to assist in the construction of the temple. This narrative raises profound questions about the relationship between divine and infernal powers, suggesting that Solomon's wisdom lay in navigating the tension between these realms. Esoteric connections to Sumer and the Anunnaki. When examining Solomon's story through an esoteric lens, intriguing parallels emerge with older traditions, particularly those of Sumer and the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki, the deities of ancient Mesopotamia, were often portrayed as powerful beings who granted knowledge and tools to humanity. Some scholars and mystics speculate that Solomon's ring, with its ability to command spirits, might share thematic links to Sumerian accounts of divine tools or artifacts like the Mi, which were decrees of divine order granting power and civilization to humanity. Could the demons Solomon commanded be interpreted as echoes of the Anunnaki or their emissaries? In Mesopotamian lore, beings such as Enki and Marduk were known for their interplay with humanity, sometimes aiding and sometimes challenging them. The parallels between Solomon's relationship with Yahweh and the Anunnaki myths suggest a continuity of themes, humanity as mediators of divine and cosmic forces. Secrets left out of the Bible. The canonical Bible provides a sanitized account of Solomon's reign, emphasizing his wisdom, wealth, and piety. However, other texts and traditions paint a more complex picture. The Testament of Solomon, a pseudepigraphal work, reveals Solomon's deep engagement with magic and the occult. It describes how Solomon interrogated demons, learning their names, powers, and vulnerabilities. He used this knowledge not only to build the temple, but also to understand the mysteries of creation and the spiritual world. Esoteric traditions also hint at Solomon's involvement in alchemical and mystical practices. Some believe the temple itself was a symbolic structure, encoding sacred geometry and cosmic principles. Solomon, as its architect, would have been a master of this sacred knowledge, using it to bridge the divine and the earthly. The true Lord of power, Yahweh or Marduk. If Yahweh granted Solomon his ring of power, does this make Yahweh the ultimate source of Solomon's authority? Or is there a deeper, more ambiguous relationship between Yahweh, Solomon, and the forces he commanded? In some esoteric interpretations, Yahweh is seen as one aspect of a larger cosmic hierarchy. This raises questions about the role of Marduk, a prominent deity in Mesopotamian tradition. Marduk, associated with order and kingship, could be seen as a parallel to Yahweh in his capacity as a divine ruler. Some mystics even speculate that the figure of Satan, or the adversary in later traditions, might derive from earlier Mesopotamian deities or forces, suggesting a more complex interplay of power. Solomon's ability to command demons could indicate that his ring was a tool of balance, allowing him to harness both light and dark forces. In this view, the true Lord of power is not a single deity, but the individual who can navigate and harmonize these cosmic opposites. Solomon's esoteric knowledge. Solomon's greatest secret may not have been his ring or his temple, but his understanding of the interplay between divine and infernal forces. In Kabbalistic tradition, Solomon is often associated with the Sephirot, the 10 emanations of divine energy in the Tree of Life. This suggests that Solomon's wisdom was not just practical, but deeply spiritual, rooted in the mysteries of creation and the structure of the universe. One esoteric teaching suggests that Solomon's ring symbolized the union of opposites, the celestial and the terrestrial, the holy and the profane. The pentagram or hexagram on the ring was not just a symbol of power but of harmony, a reminder that true wisdom lies in understanding and balancing all aspects of existence. King Solomon's story is a profound blend of history, myth, and mysticism. His reign as Israel's king, his wisdom, and his temple-building projects are celebrated in biblical texts, but the deeper, esoteric dimensions of his life reveal a man who walked the line between divine inspiration and occult mastery. The ring of power, the commanding of spirits, and the secrets of sacred geometry all point to Solomon as a figure who bridged worlds. Whether viewed through the lens of Jewish tradition, Sumerian mythology, or modern mysticism, Solomon remains a symbol of the pursuit of wisdom and the mysteries that lie at the heart of human existence. His story invites us to consider the nature of power, the balance of forces, and the eternal quest for understanding.